Get ready as you're about to witness the large-scale sugar production you might have never seen before. Let's get started already. When you think about sugar, your mind probably jumps to donuts, cookies, cakes, or maybe even that irresistible smooth chocolate. Like these sweet treats, you won't find their story in the aisles of a grocery store. To make those sweet white crystals, farmers need to do preparations beforehand. They prepare their fields carefully because sugar beets are picky about their environment and land where they'll grow. The soil has to be just right, something called loamy soil. This type of soil is soft, nutrient-rich, and holds just enough moisture to keep the beets happy. Just look at that visual representation of how soil absorbs all the sunlight, water droplets, and carbon dioxide to nourish the sugar beets and develop intense, sweet flavor in it. We all have read this little science in our school books, that how nature helps to thrive the plants. Just it's much easier to know how beets get sweetened via these visuals. You know that about 20% of the world's sugar comes from sugar beets? That's no small feat for a vegetable that's often overshadowed by its tropical cousin. Yes, I meant sugarcane. Sugar beets are really high maintenance. They need a lot of water, around 20 to 30 inches over the growing season. Now that we've seen how sugar beets grow into sweet powerhouses, let's move on to harvesting, where all that hard work in the fields starts to pay off. It usually is done in late autumn when the sugar content in the beets has reached its peak, and let's not forget the sheer volume of beets involved. They pile up the entire harvested stock and then scoop out only the needed quantity. To put that into perspective, a single ton of sugar beets can produce roughly 300 pounds of sugar. That means even a small pile of beets has the potential to sweeten lots of cups of coffee. As the trucks roll into the factory, they're greeted by weigh stations. Here, each truckload is weighed to calculate how much Beet Bounty has arrived and then loaded for further processing. Speaking of cleaning, sugar beets go through a serious water treatment before they're ready for processing. By the time they emerge, the beets are spotless and ready for the slicing stage. Here, a giant grater working on turbo speed shaves the beets into long, narrow slices. It's all about maximizing surface area. The more surface there is, the easier it is to extract the sugar. This process is more like brewing tea. The hot water draws out the sucrose, creating a sweet juice that's rich in sugar, but also contains other natural compounds. The leftover beet pulp, now devoid of most of its sugar, goes to the recycling chamber to make some animal feed. You know, the water used in the diffusion process is recycled multiple times, so they can keep track of as much hygiene as possible. I get such comments a lot that literally, what's the purpose of this much care to produce a product which is toxic to health? What do you say about it? Would you rather take it positively or want to say something in regard? The thin juice is sent through multiple evaporation stages where it's boiled to remove excess water. This syrup is loaded with sugar, but it's still in liquid form. At this point, the mixture of sugar crystals and syrup is spun in large centrifuges. These machines are just like the washing machines, separating the solid sugar from the liquid molasses. And the transformation is almost complete. But what about the impact of sugar on global health and policy? This area has become more prominent as the link between sugar consumption and various health concerns has led to significant changes in the way we view and regulate sugar. Due to such concerns, people have shifted to more organic options, but sugar is still a staple in many countries. Soft, creamy, and so comforting? Yes, that cream bread is one of those baked delights that you can't take it as a simple snack. It's basically an experience, combining the tender, airy texture of freshly baked bread with a rich, velvety filling that melts in your mouth. The concept of cream bread is surprisingly simple, yet genius. It's a bread that's so fluffy that it practically floats on your tongue. Often made with enriched dough that includes typical basic ingredients, the bread is designed to stay moist and tender for days. The secret lies in techniques like slow proofing, which allows the dough to rise gradually, enhancing its lightness and flavor. In South Korea, cream bread has become so popular that bakeries compete to make the softest dough and creamiest filling. You probably have seen those satisfying videos on Gram, right? Crunchy, sweet, and utterly addictive caramelized nuts are the perfect snack or topping to elevate literally anything. These golden glossy treats take the natural richness of nuts and coat them in a layer of caramelized sugar, creating a flavor explosion that's hard to resist. When I say hard, I mean it. I have tried these nuts, or whatever main crew you chose to get coated with the rich caramel. It becomes super delicious. Tucked away in the middle of America's candy aisle, there's a bar that's impossible to miss. Yes, it's the Butterfinger. Come with me. I'll show you how it's made in factories at such a massive scale you might have ever seen before. In about 4 to 5 months, the peanuts grow fully, but look at this amazing transformation it goes through. Farms located in Georgia, Texas, and the United States are known as peanut belts because of the sandy soil and sunny climate. They help create the perfect environment for these legumes to thrive. Just when the peanuts are dried, they are loaded into large trucks and sent to a processing facility. But not all peanuts make the cut. To ensure Butterfingers have the best taste and texture, only the highest grade peanuts are used. So the respective people working there inspect the nuts for any imperfections, sorting out the broken or blemished ones. The entire Today's peanut stock gets inside the cracking machines, batch by batch, and we get the inner edible part getting separated from the outer brown shells. You will see the peanuts are roasted at high temperatures, which brings out their natural oils and intensifies their flavor. Also, it helps in removing the red-colored papery thin skin from the peanuts, which will later be blown away via blowers. And only the skin-colored peanuts will be left behind. After roasting, the peanuts are blanched, meaning their skins are removed, leaving behind golden brown kernels a little cooked. These kernels are then ground into a smooth, creamy peanut butter. And let me remind you, a little blanching technique helped here. And this peanut butter is usually not much refined, which you get inside those jars. In order to make that crunchy candy, they need to collect the sugar beets so they will get the ultimate sweetener. While talking about sugar, what do you think? Is consuming that much sugar on a daily basis a healthy choice? Just curious what you people think. Butterfingers wouldn't be the same without their sugary layers. By the time they process and transform that sugar juice into the white sugar crystals, it'll be immediately sifted and loaded to send to the Butterfingers factory. Once sugar's processed, it's heated and blended with corn syrup until thick and gooey. This mixture forms the foundation for Butterfingers' iconic crispy layers. Combined with that pre-prepped special peanut butter, it's cooked to perfection and then later cooled on conveyor belts. Handling hot sugar is serious business. One misstep and it can burn badly, so workers have to be extra careful. Conveyor belts carry the long sheets to cutting stations. Now that the crunchy peanut buttery cores are perfectly formed, it's time for what might be the most mouth-watering step of all, wrapping them in a layer of luscious, creamy chocolate. Let's get to the coating station, where the candy cores take a quick ride on a conveyor belt, and they pass under, literally, a cascade of melted chocolate in what's known as an enrobing machine. This machine ensures that every core is evenly coated, top to bottom, without missing a spot. Over the years, Butterfinger has dropped some wild, limited edition products. Who remember Butterfinger BBs? Those bite-sized, chocolate-covered balls were a 90s snack legend. Rumor has it they were discontinued in 2006 because they melted too easily during shipping. The robotic pizza sauce dispenser is a game changer for mass pizza production because, as you can see, it brings precision, speed, and consistency to an otherwise messy and time-consuming task. Oh, come on, you have to agree, or else you haven't seen the behind the scenes of how your pizzas are made in restaurants. This automation is invaluable for large-scale production. It dramatically speeds up the process, allowing hundreds or even thousands of pizzas to be topped per hour. These high-tech setups of ice cream production are designed not just for efficiency, but to craft the creamy delight that millions love. Yep, you and I are involved. What's incredible is how these factories easily cater to endless flavors and forms. Even special add-ons drop the mix-ins right where they belong without missing a beat. Chips flavoring and packaging on an automated line is a fascinating blend of science and speed, so that every crispy bite is loaded with just the right amount of flavor and reaches you fresh and intact. Once the chips are fried to golden perfection, they travel on conveyor belts to the flavoring drum. As they tumble in the drum, the rotation and airflow are calibrated to prevent the chips from breaking while ensuring every piece is perfectly coated. Let's break down the amazing journey of this delicious Korean snack step by step, and it'll be both fun and easy to follow. That stretchy dough is kneaded and rolled out. You can say like a pizza dough, but in tiny portions for those perfect bite-sized pieces. As they bake, they puff up and turn golden brown, almost like tiny baguettes you might find in a French bakery, but way smaller and definitely crunchier. And don't even get me started on how addictive these snacks are. 1 minute, you're opening a bag for a quick snack, and the next thing you know, it's almost gone. If the spices are just basics, then what's the secret behind their deliciousness? Perhaps it's all about the balance. These little treats are a perfect combination of soft, buttery cookies with a sweet, fruity jam center. You know the kind, crispy on the edges, tender in the middle, and that burst of fruitiness in every bite. And that jam is usually made from a blend of fruits like strawberries, raspberries, or apricots, or sometimes even a blend of all of them. Hey, are you enjoying this video? Stay tuned, because you never know what's coming ahead. But yeah, I can assure you, it's gonna be wonderful moments of entertainment. So don't forget to support us with your love, as you always have been doing, and I am so grateful for that. These advanced systems can handle thousands of bags per hour, making them essential for large-scale snack production. You might have seen bodybuilders and other gym freaks relying on huge black containers of protein powders. Yes, I know what you would say, that it's dangerous, dude. But have you ever wondered how exactly? Like, what goes into it? Or what are they gulping? So this video might not feel like our regular videos, as we also want to uncover all the dark secrets behind making the protein powders. Come with us to see what unnatural stuff they're adding that doctors don't like about it. Let's get straight to the farms where they keep their cattle. These cows live a lifestyle that's as natural as possible. They're raised in open pastures with plenty of room to graze, roam, and soak up the sunshine, and spend most of their day munching on fresh grass and plants. This is their natural diet, and it's a big reason why their milk has higher nutritional value. While grass is their primary food source, it's supplemented with hay and silage, usually fermented grass or corn during winter when pastures aren't as lush. Another interesting aspect is how farmers manage milking routines. Milking usually happens twice a day, at the same times each morning and evening. It's done using gentle suction machines, so the cows are comfortable. Yes, they are washing the entire area of processing, and no, they aren't doing this just for the video. It's their one of the usual chores that you do without any specific reason. Once the milk passes the checks, it's ready for unloading. Those pipes make the milk flow directly into large refrigerated storage silos without coming into contact with air or external contaminants. And the silos are really big, like they can hold thousands of gallons of milk, keeping it fresh until it's ready for processing. When it's time to heat it again, this time the focus is on activating the cheese-making process. As the milk warms up, it's gently stirred to keep the heat evenly distributed. An enzyme, either animal-based or plant-based, is added to coagulate the milk, turning it into curds and whey. When the rennet does its job, the milk thickens into a jelly-like mass within 30 to 60 minutes. Experienced cheesemakers often rely on instinct and touch to make sure if it's ready. The first step in separating curd from whey is cutting the curd. After most of the whey is drained, the curds are collected from the draining vat. At this point, they're soft, moist, and still a bit crumbly. The first thing they do after getting the whey is filtering it. Even though most of the curds have been removed, tiny milk solids and impurities can still be present. Once filtered, the whey undergoes pasteurization because raw whey can spoil quickly, and pasteurization ensures it's safe and stable for further processing. Next comes the concentration process, where the whey's water content is reduced. That spray drying is a marvel of efficiency, you know. In just seconds, it transforms gallons of liquid whey into a fine powder. This powder is cooled quickly to prevent clumping and preserve its nutritional quality. That fine texture of whey powder is what makes it dissolve so easily in water or smoothies. That's why it's a favorite ingredient in protein shakes, meal replacements, and even baked goods. Before packaging, the whey powder goes through quality checks. Samples are tested for protein content, moisture levels, and microbial safety. Once it passes all tests, the whey powder is packaged into airtight containers to maintain its freshness. In large-scale factories, this is done using automated filling machines that seal the packages in seconds, minimizing exposure to air and moisture. As far as the containers are concerned, they use high-quality containers or bags that are specifically designed to protect whey protein powder from moisture, air, and light, three major enemies of powdered products. The expiration date and batch number are also printed onto the packaging, so the consumers know exactly when the powder is best consumed and provides traceability for safety and quality control purposes. The remaining curds, which have been stored earlier, are now typically pressed into molds. It's important to shape the cheese and ensure the curds compact into a uniform texture. The pressing process also helps remove any remaining whey and gives the cheese its final shape. For cheeses like mozzarella, the process ends here and it's ready for packaging. Whether it's a childhood snack tucked into lunchboxes, a companion to your evening coffee, or a midnight craving, this dessert holds a special place in our hearts. Light and fluffy sponge serves as the foundation. Its airy texture is achieved through precise baking techniques, often relying on whipped eggs to create that irresistible softness. Add to that the layer of chocolate, and you've got a dessert that's as luxurious as it is comforting. From kids to grandparents, chocolate-coated sponge cakes surpass age and geography. So, the next time you unwrap one, take a moment to remember this video, how you've seen its delightful layers being created with so much precision and total automation. Few desserts can compete with the absolute delight of an Oreo ice cream. It's the perfect combination of velvety, creamy ice cream and the iconic crunch of Oreo cookies. The moment you scoop it up, you're greeted by swirls of cookie crumbles, rich, chocolatey chunks, and that unmistakable flavor of Oreo that's been winning hearts for generations. No, I clearly didn't exaggerate just because I loved it. Sorry, dude, that was a bit personal. There's something undeniably charming about a fish-shaped sponge cake. Maybe it's the charming design, reminiscent of playful childhood snacks, or perhaps it's the surprise waiting inside each one. Either way, they're loved by all the generations for their special tea times. Whether it's custard, red bean paste, or chocolate, these little cakes have captured hearts around the globe. Don't judge. Yes, kinds of fish-shaped cakes with those fillings do exist. Originating in countries like Japan and Korea, the fish-shaped sponge cake is much loved. That super soft sponge itself is a masterpiece, light, airy, and subtly sweet. And why on earth everything that appears so cute is always from these two countries.
Bringing the secret well syrup. You are never gonna know what's inside that syrup that makes you so addicted to it. Myths are that only 2 to 3 people know its recipe, and yeah, the secret recipe for Coca-Cola is stored in a vault. Anyhow, here comes the second main ingredient, carbonated water. Once it's prepared, the secret syrup is added in to give that undeniable taste. Now they are loading the entire material into further chambers for mixing and pouring it through pipes, so they can fill the bottles for you. From now on, there are a bunch of robots and advanced machines to gather up the bottles and unwind them for lining up in proper form. And you know what? Coca-Cola in its early days was marketed as a remedy for headaches and hangovers, claiming to be a brain tonic that could relieve exhaustion. Well, man, it still is, at least for many of us. The way these bottles are going through so many dance moves, I think it's just for styling purposes. Now look at that wheel movement. Whatever though, it does look great. Time to fill, fill, and fill. These nozzles are going to grab those bottles firmly and pour the drink up to a certain level. The bottles are superbly filled up with this amazing drink, and there the caping game begins. And the reason why you feel refreshed while grabbing that shiny, cleaned bottle is because they take bath regularly. It's a smooth and rapid process of putting and tightening the bottle caps to secure the flavors inside. Let me tell you some real mind-blowing stuff. In its first year, when Coca-Cola was introduced in a jug, for the whole year they would be able to sell 9 glasses per day. And now, they sell 200,000 bottles a minute. If I ask myself how much I consume Coke, I do believe this. Here they arrive. All these bottles are being stacked up to be wrapped in cardboard boxes and then in clear plastic sheets, so each box won't lose any of its partners. When it comes to enjoying your favorite fizzy beverage, nothing beats the convenience and coolness of a Coke tin can. Now, this roller coaster of some amazing moves isn't just style, but they are a unique and safe way to turn the cans upside down to dry the water droplets, and also such designs do save a lot of space. These nozzles are the best and most satisfying thing I've ever seen. How beautifully they fill up our cans with our favorite beverages. And trust me, every packaging tastes different. Next time, try it. These shiny, compact containers have become an iconic symbol of refreshment. And they're my favorite too. I mean, I don't get why I always choose a tin can over a plastic bottle. You know, during World War II, Coca-Cola played a role in the war effort. The company provided the famous Coke and a Smile to American soldiers, and a portable Coca-Cola bottling plant was even set up on the front lines. Coca-Cola is sold in over 200 countries, and its slogan, Open Happiness, reflects its global appeal. It's a universal language that brings smiles to faces across diverse cultures. These bottles do not just keep going with the flow, they are passed through different detectors, so if any bottle is faulty, they can immediately fix it to maintain that crowing reputation. Time to stamp these bottles with the famous red and white carvings. It has been paired with some unexpected friends over the years. From peanuts to pickles, people have found unique and sometimes peculiar combinations that somehow work like magic with a Coke in hand. Special protocol for special drinks. These coverings are being gathered and piled up in the machine to create some new magic around the world. These hard cardboard are going to be molded and then stapled over the bunch of bottles for easily carrying them around. This is super crazy. You don't need to rush and tear off that plastic wrap around a bunch of Coke and leave in embarrassment. Just be smart and do exactly like this pretty lady who's easily carrying them around for dinners or maybe movie dates. More drinks. Anyone? Anyone? Ever had those days when you feel like you need a burst of energy and a mood lift? That's where such energy drinks come to the rescue. Energy drinks are like little cans of pep and cheer. Packed with so many useful ingredients, they're designed to give you a quick energy boost, helping you shake off that feeling of tiredness and get back into the groove. What makes energy drinks even more exciting is the bubbly fizz that tickles your taste buds. They have already been washed, dried, filled, and sealed, all in a satisfyingly quick manner to avoid any human contact. Ever notice that any drink from a glass bottle seems to have an extra kick of fizziness? That's because glass is non-permeable, keeping carbonation locked in for a longer-lasting, bubbly experience. Cheers to the forever magic of glass. So don't toss away your empty glass bottle. Also, from funky vases to candle holders, these bottles are a blank canvas for your artistic genius. Look, this happens when you're a little hungover. All of the drinks will be neatly put back into containers so they can easily reach you. First things first, this wash extension tool gives each bottle a nice, soapy shower. Also, it pours just the right amount of soda into each bottle. It's the same as a soda scientist, making sure every bottle is filled to perfection. Once your soda is in the bottle, the capping machine comes into play. It puts a cap on top to keep your drink safe and sound. No spills and no leaks, just a tight seal to keep the fizz in. Talk about drinking and forget beer bottles? Never. So right from here, your awesome journey begins, whether want to hang out on a date, movie party, event, or anything. They are preparing your beer buddies. Grab and enjoy.
After watching this entire video, you are never going to doubt the commercially made omelets or even commercially raised hens. Yup, they are being raised in far more cleaner, pure, and fully optimized environments, which might be somehow compromised in domestic situations. Anyways, check out this totally automated system, which makes sure the eggs laid by chickens are safely transferred to the moving belts, while the upper layer will be still dedicated to their food. Once collected, each egg goes through various stages that used to be labor-intensive and time-consuming. Today, advanced automated systems have made these processes quick and easy. Here's how this robotic machine organizes and transfers eggs, seamlessly guiding them through each step without a crack, setting them up for the next stage with precision and grace. If you wonder why we are talking about eggs today, I just wanted to tell you guys how important they are for your daily diet, as they are nutrient-rich, providing high-quantity protein, essential vitamins, and antioxidants. They support muscle repair, brain and heart health, and weight management. Just accept it. Who likes to prepare breakfast every early morning, if you ask me? I barely recognize myself in that morning hassle. These arms are equipped with sensors and specialized grips that handle each egg with care. In the next step, the entire bunch of egg trays gets a thorough wash with high-pressure water to ensure 100% cleanliness and perfection. After drying, they are carefully inspected to ensure no eggs have cracks or gone bad. This might not seem a difficult task, but it's an important step so your omelet always tastes delicious and fresh. Now comes the automatic egg separator machines that use a bunch of robotic arms to automate the process of cracking eggs and separating the yolks from the whites, making large-scale operations faster and more precise. This precise cracking ensures that the yolk and white are not damaged and that no shell fragments mix with the egg components. After cracking, this person carefully observes and removes the damaged egg yolks from the mesh. The eggs flow through a little stream until they get whisked to make a perfect omelet for our audience. The entire material is now poured through these automated nozzles to make sure every lane gets the right amount of whisked eggs. I'm always amazed watching these machines working like it's a piece of cake. These are responsible for dripping only required oil, so the omelet doesn't get wet in the oil nor sticks to the stove belts. Just watch this sight that needs no explanation. It's simply pouring the eggs, and it's super satisfying. You may have noticed those rising bubbles in the eggs, which means just like our normal omelets, these are also about to be cooked to perfection in a few seconds. As soon as they are 98% cooked, the smart rollers start their magic of perfectly rolling the omelets. And what I noticed was the perfect roll, no sticking and no damaging. Let me show you its close-up. It's super duper exciting. Enjoying the sights? Tell me in the comments section, what do you like the most about this omelet automation? I'd love to know. Once the omelet rolls are ready, the machines take them out in separate chambers, or you can say collectors. And that 2-second pause isn't by mistake. It's a wonderful trick to cook the omelet in perfect and equal texture from inside out. Another purpose of bringing this bulk factory automation is to show you guys how beautifully and cleanly they proceed with every step. From eggs collecting to making omelets. They're working hard and with full dedication, just to make your lives a little bit easier. As the omelet rolls are ready, they are taken out of the chambers by using several auto-robotic arms and placed on the moving belts, so they get cooled a little before packaging. Look at that automation. It won't stop until it makes more than 1,000 omelets, which is their daily task. And by looking at that speed, it's not going to take another hour. While they have completed their omelet-making daily task, now comes the boiled eggs. They say some of the freshly collected eggs are sent here in this cleaning and boiling facility, so they can entertain both sorts of customers. After boiling these eggs, they cooled down in fresh water to lower their temperature. After that, they go through different and probably a new technique that you have ever seen to remove their shells, separating the boiled eggs beautifully from the peels. Boiled eggs are a versatile and nutritious addition to any meal or snack. They offer a quick and satisfying protein boost, perfect for a busy day. This peanut butter flavored delight is coated with a rich caramel sauce layer and various nuts to create a delicious taste which might be impossible to resist. Once the knick-knack is done, it's cut into small pieces and chilled to achieve the perfect shape and flavor. Hey, if you guys are enjoying our video, please hit that glowing like button and keep supporting us as you always had. And if you have something to ask or appreciate our effort, you can always chit-chat with us in the comments box. Feast your eyes on the creation of these smooth, fluffy marshmallows. Watch as they get a delicate sugar coating in the right amount so they do not stick and remain fluffy and sweet. See how they are perfectly strained to remove any excess sugar, ensuring each marshmallow is an irresistible delight. In today's modern and busy times, having a healthy, nutritious, and delicious breakfast can seem challenging. But when it comes to pancakes, they are both healthy and quick to grab whenever you want. I totally forgot to tell you the major reason behind why the pancakes are always found ready to serve. I bet no explanation is needed, because you are watching the most accessible robotic machine in the baking factory, making dozens of thousands of pancakes on a daily basis. Just a little stop to pour that yummiest chocolate filling and make a pancake sandwich. See how it effortlessly prepares a vanilla ice cream mixture without any lumps, and pouring them into those molds, shaping it into a perfect ice cream bar. Then, to enhance its flavor, it's delicately coated with chocolate. After all the necessary preparations, its packaging is equally attractive, ensuring it looks as good as it tastes. Even before tasting, its delightful flavor can be savored with just a glance.